Hello Internet, I'm Jackie Fox, and I'm recording a lot of videos today. I want to keep this one relatively short because I want to look at specifically a quote-unquote meme that's going around right now related to a story that I want to cover in more depth in a later video, and that is the Budweiser Dylan Mulvaney situation thing that is happening. And it's not really that much of a situation. There is an attempted boycott of Anheuser-Busch going on by a bunch of really butthurt transphobes who don't realize that most beer companies are actually very friendly with the LGBTQ market because, surprise, surprise, especially when you behave very shitty towards them in public and try to ruin their lives with legislation. After they get off work, they're going to want a cold one. I mean, more so than even your average transphobic redneck that probably supports this idea or whatever, whoever is into this. And it's actually, you know, kind of unfair that I use redneck in that phrase because I know a lot of self-described rednecks who aren't bigots. So, shit, the rednecks are actually doing better than you guys too. But I don't want to talk about all of that in this video. I have a whole nother video for that. In this, I just want to take a look at English, grammar, and one particular quote-unquote meme. So, your first impression of this, as I put it on screen, is going to be, wow, this is a transphobic joke. It's not even a meme, it's just a mean tweet. And I have no doubt that the author intended for it to come across that way, and that is the intention behind this, and that no matter how I explain what this set of words actually means, and would mean to, say, a third or fourth grader, who might understand their English a little bit better than the writer, but it was definitely intended to be hurtful, transphobic slur. So let's talk about it. Here's the quote, as it was read to me on a Discord server. Dylan Mulvaney is pretending to be a man in the same way that Bud Light is pretending to be a beer. Okay, ha 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 ha. Bud Light's a fake beer, trans people are fake people. I don't know. Whatever you're trying to say here. Ha 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 ha. Ha, funny. But here's the thing about that statement. There is something you'll know as a simile or as an inequality statement, which is actually really funny that that's the name. Although I think this is actually something called an equality statement, which is even more funny to me. So let me show you how this works with an example. The sky is blue in the same way that the grass is green. This is an equality statement. You are saying that the relationship between thing A and thing B is equal in their relationship to attribute A and attribute B. The sky is blue and this is just the same as the grass being green. Now, obviously, this is a little bit, simple, I guess, because the sky isn't really blue. Like, I'm looking out and it's kind of gray to white to maybe a little bit of light blue right now. And I've got really more leaves in my yard than grass, but I guess my grass is relatively middle of the road green, so maybe that one's not complicated. But I guess my point here is that what these transphobes accidentally did was explain very concretely not only their own prejudices, but also that Dylan Mulvaney is a woman. Because, I mean, hate it though you might, Bud Light's a beer. I mean, I hate to be the person who breaks this to you, right? But Bud Light is actually a beer. It may not be a good beer. I may invest a lot of time in calling it a beer with the flavor of watered down piss in my next video, but it is definitely a beer. So, in this statement, you were saying that Dylan Mulvaney is, without a doubt, definitely a woman. So, Good job. You accidentally made a correct statement by trying to be a transphobic asshole simply because you don't understand a concept that they teach in 3rd or 4th grade grammar. Now, I understand you haven't used this concept in a long time. I haven't either. I'm surprised I remember it. I'm surprised it came, like, it didn't instantly come to mind when I was hearing the meme. I was like, oh no, that's just transphobia. Okay. Well, that's not special. And then it kind of like wormed its way into my brain, and I was like, no, wait. I learned about this in school. They're wrong on the internet. So that's the story of a transphobic person actually kind of dunking on themselves using the English language. I find it personally hilarious. I also find it hilarious that these are called inequality/equality statements, and when the two things are equal in a respect, it's called an equality statement. So, thank you for making an affirmative equality statement reminding everyone that just like Bud Light is in fact a beer, Dylan Mulvaney is in fact a woman. That is in fact how social and gender roles work, and if you had, any concept of sociology, or maybe, I don't want to say if you had graduated high school, because I didn't necessarily graduate high school, and somehow I still managed to figure out the difference between sex and gender, which I've just got to guess that you also would know, or like the writer of this would also know, and that they're just pretending that they don't. How can you possibly be this dumb? That's the thing that confuses me. I don't understand. Anyways, we'll get into more of that in the full video, but I wanted to give you just a quick take on why that particular meme is stupid and brilliant and absolutely has the opposite literal meaning of what someone intended. And no, I don't think that they're smart enough to create a situation where this looks like one thing to the left and looks like the other thing to the right, to where it's an effective dog whistle, because the only thing that this is whistling is that you're transphobic. You really have to reflect on what you learned in 3rd or 4th grade English to understand that this isn't actually a transphobic statement. That being said, I think that the intention of it was absolutely to be a transphobic statement, and I think that that is kind of the knee-jerk reaction of anyone who sees it, so yeah, that's probably more important than, technically, if you bring a 3rd grade English teacher in on this, they'll tell you that really you just asserted that Dylan Mulvaney is in fact a woman, and thank you for your support of the trans community. I'll see you in the next one.